Hey, welcome back. No, that was not President Trump, but it was a one heck of an impersonator, John D. Domenico. Great guy, great friend of the show, and always good for a few laughs. And things are getting so crazy right now. The laughter could almost turn to crying because you got such a double standard going on in this world today. It's a freaking double standard, okay? You got tens of thousands of people allowed to protest in the street, ear to ear, jammed up and next to each other. No problem. Donald Trump wants to have a rally in Oklahoma. Everybody's hair's on fire. In New York, you want to have more than 10 people over your house. But tens of thousands of people can congregate in the street and throw Molotov cocktails in NYPD cars and all this other stuff. But my next guest is a money guest, and he's a great friend of the show. Always a firebrand when he comes on. Daniel Chrisman joins me right now. He's a former candidate for president of the United States on the Libertarian Party. And Dan, I know you are no stranger to calling out the powers that be. Give me your take on all these crazy lockdown restrictions that are going on right now.
I'll give you my take. On May 29th, I was arrested on 6th Avenue and 35th Street, yelling at the police, I think it's Officer Chow, NYPD legal, for imposing unconstitutional arrests on protesters who are simply protesting. And they did that to us several times. Finally, they got me cornered. They were able to arrest me. And when they arrested me, it was a good time. I'm not telling war stories. I was in there with Akeem Browder, who's running for mayor. Me and him had like a rock star debate for like Libertarian versus Green mayor in a jail cell. I wish it was on video. It was fun as hell. But I was in the jail.
Versus Green. You guys should do a UFC fight or something.
Yeah. Oh, it almost came to that. It almost came to that. Then they got better judgment. Some of the black kids started having my back in there. It almost came to that. But anyway, listen. I was in there without a mask. All
right. And they locked you up for no mask.
No, they locked me up for protesting.
I thought protesting was allowed right now.
No, this is where you missed it. Where we missed it was back in the beginning of May at City Hall. Me and this girl Linda was protesting. This girl Linda, a single mother, a Russian girl, is like, "Yo, we need to get back to work." They arrested her with 32 police officers one day, and the next day they arrested her again for illegally holding a sign and protesting Cuomo in City Hall.
Wow!
And that was the beginning of this.
Peaceful passive sign lockup.
Oh yeah, and they just totally. This guy got the orders from the legal department. They came out there with the radio. You all must disperse. This is an illegal protest when it wasn't, and they just arrested. They just were arresting like innocent women.
Wow. And then when they threw you in the hooskow, they didn't even give you a mask.
Yeah, listen, we got a real problem with policing. And the real problem is it's a double-edged sword, right? Because like there's no finer men to walk the earth than some of the men that served in the NYPD, and we love them to death. Like as much of a police basher as I am, that is still in my heart. I love these guys to death. I grew up with them. However, I love my Constitution to death, and they've been following way too many unconstitutional orders. And I know we want to defend the NYPD, but every single death that I've seen that's been a major one in the last couple of years, the Fourth Amendment was not honored in any single one of them. And if we're going to defend the police's existence, we're also going to have to cut back and start policing via the Constitution and the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, listen, I don't disagree with you. Right here in New York, a lot of the times when I see police responding, you got 2 or 3 cars. They got one emotionally disturbed person, screaming and yelling and flailing around. And I think there's probably a lot of instances with mental health and drug abuse where we could have this other type of force that knows exactly how to deal with those people and takes them for help or treatment instead of incarcerating them and throwing them into the in the system.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to entertain the social workers running around because I think I'm more scared of the bureaucracy than I am even the prison system. They do not serve people at all. They're terrible. Uh, the thing is with policing, the existence of a police officer is off of the Fourth Amendment. Like, okay, this person actually committed a crime, and like it should go to the judge first, and the judge should decide whether they want to even pick this person up. And then we have our warriors, our men, our real police go in and get the criminal. When you have these cops going around doing this minority report and the only thing they know how to do is arrest, this isn't the way to go. The cops should not put their lives in danger unless the criminal has already committed the crime.
Let me ask you this, Dan. When they're talking about defund the police, I have a serious issue with the New York City DA's office, okay? And I think there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse in New York and many other DA's offices where they spend millions and millions of dollars to track down different types of crimes. And sometimes, they're almost going after people for the sake of going after people to find a case, not actually have a case or something.
In my opinion, in most of those cases, they can get out of via paying fines. I have a feeling that the Manhattan's DA right now is just as much white-collar crime as anything else.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And at a time where, George Soros is literally deploying money into municipal DA's races to get people who are, for no bail and for, less crime, right here, maybe the move for some of these people is to defund DA's offices and let them prosecute the crimes that are really committed by people that the police fairly lock them up for instead of going out there and trying to be an investigative force.
No, the police's job is not to be a minority report. They're supposed to get orders from a judge to go do something. Okay, and that's at least constitutionally. So I don't know, man. We have the big problem, and I think a lot of it is if you look at the looters. I was out with them every single night. The looters and the people like demolishing things, videotaping it all, John. Yeah, and I was anti-police until that first Saturday night when I was out there with them, and it was the first time I've ever seen the police actually do real work and not hurt anybody all night. I was impressed, and it looked like they were having fun. That was the best night of their career. Are you kidding me? I wake up to Cuomo saying that these officers didn't do their job, and then I see Cuomo, after he says these officers didn't do their job, want to put 15-year-old black kids who looked like they had the time of their life raiding a Foot Locker after they couldn't go shopping for 3 months. Cuomo wants to put them in jail for 3.5 years with burglary too. Yeah. And then what do you expect the DA to do? It's the DA's responsibility to say, there's no way I'm giving a 15-year-old kid who was showing off to his girlfriend looting a Foot Locker 3.5 years in jail. This is completely insane. So when it comes to this, the problem is New York policing is a disaster because every time you talk to a cop, they say, I'm just following orders. And the people that they're following orders from are Cuomo and de Blasio. And these people are criminals, and they're real criminals. We should really go up there and citizens arrest Cuomo right now. None of us have the balls to do it. And until we address that, we're going to be living in this disaster.
I can't disagree with you, and I can't say that I often can say that when I'm talking to you, but I sure believe in my heart of hearts that there was criminality in the decision making, not only about the police, but with shipping senior citizens back to nursing homes when the governor clearly knew that this was not a good move. Dan, we got 1 minute left here. You planning on running for anything, or are you just going to continue to advocate for the community?
I think I'm going to have to run for mayor, and I'm not trying to make an announcement right now. I just don't know who else is going to have the energy and the know-how and the see forwardness and the ability to communicate with all sides than me.
All right.
I mean, Curtis is a legend. Curtis is a legend, and my hat's off to him. But we got to do something here. I mean, we really have to get constitutional, and we got to get back to business.
I'm with you, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us. If anybody has the see-forwardness to become mayor, it's definitely you. You're a visionary, my friend. And I love the new background, the shirt, everything. You're looking mint. I'll talk to you soon. Daniel Chrisman, former candidate for U.S. president on the Libertarian Party and great friend of the show, public advocate candidate also. Take a quick break. Come back right after this with more Liquid Lunch just for you.